We got a pretty busy news day tomorrow, but I do remember there was a few news events today that we ought to keep our eyes on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest live stream in the world. I'm your host, Roy Jr. Chart Addicts live streams. Quick reminder, the NASDAQ 100 live masterclass. It's a 4-day masterclass hosted by yours truly. It's going to be May 1st to the 4th. If you guys want to learn a true and tested strategy that has been helping hundreds of traders become wildly successful, go ahead and check out the link in the description. And of course, we're going to be using this day trading strategy live right now to navigate these markets. Looking forward to showing you that. Hit like and subscribe to support the channel. If you don't want to support the channel, then you're whack. That's all I'm going to say. Last kind of housekeeping update or reminder, new podcast with TradingView officially out now. The full podcast is now available on the channel. You asked for it, we delivered. You said, Roy, the short clips, we don't like the short clips. Roy, they're too short. Drop the full podcast. We dropped the full podcast. Right? Go check it out, send it to a friend, share it, right? Share it with your neighbor. Let the world know. Right? It's Chart Addicts times TradingView, the greatest podcast ever. That happened. And I'll be honest, I listened to it like 3 times yesterday. Um, Definitely one of my best conversations ever. So highly recommended. And yeah, so let's go through the horn here. Let's go see what we're looking at. NASDAQ, very straightforward trade today. If we don't respect the zone and we just kind of violate all the way through, I'll wait for a break. And then as soon as we break back above that support, that's where I'll look to take an entry. But I'll be looking to take my first position at 17,560. 17,560. Let's take a look at what happened this week. So today's Wednesday. On Monday and Sunday, we had a stream. Monday and Sunday, we had a stream. Missed the triple bottom because I was waiting for kind of a correction back inside. This is what the market looked like. We had broken through the levels. I was expecting 16,900 or 16,500. The market did not hit 16,900. Instead, came very close. Ended up forming this 4-hour inverted head and shoulders, kind of this triple bottom inverse head and shoulders formation, and then broke right back inside the range. This is what it was, right? I was waiting for the pullback at that zone. So after I missed the first trade, I basically had to wait for that pullback entry, which we ended up getting a few hours later. The entry kind of zone that we were looking for here was that 17,150 to 17,180 zone, kind of like a retest to the high of this previous consolidation. And then the target was 17,533.9, right? To the decimal place, 0.9. We ended up getting really, really good pull back to that zone. Beautiful, back to that area of consolidation. And then, of course, that target that hit yesterday was none other than 17,533.9, hit perfectly right here. Masterful entry and exit. If those of you who are paying attention on the live streams took that trade, let me know in the comment section below. If you didn't take the trade, at least take something away from it. Take a lesson away. It's a learning experience regardless. And if you're going from trade to trade without deliberately taking a lesson away from each one, you're wasting your time. If you took 25 trades and you actually studied each one, that's all you would need to figure out what you need to do to make money. Versus people take hundreds or thousands of trades in their life and they don't deliberately stop and learn what just happened, and they end up just wasting their time staying on that hamster wheel of break even instead of just being more deliberate. That's the cheat code. Be more deliberate. Just make good use of your time. Whatever you're doing, whatever craft that you're involved in, imagine you paid attention for once instead of going on autopilot. Imagine you really sat there and asked yourself some hard questions like, what just happened? I'll tell you guys, the best exercise I ever did for my trading was when I was losing consistently, I sat down and asked myself, Well, first I had the realization, wait, if I'm losing all the time, the person who's doing the opposite of what I'm doing is winning all the time. So I started doing the opposite of what I wanted to do. And I started making more money. And so then the hard question was, what are the people who are on the other side of my trade seeing that I missed? Okay. Very good question to ask. You do that for about 15, 20 trades, and I guarantee you will not be confused about what your job is, here as a trader. So if there's a reminder or there's some sort of advice I can give this morning, make sure you're being deliberate. Make sure you're tracking your trades. Don't just leave it up to guesswork. Your brain's going to convince you that you're doing a great job. That's what your brain does. Wow, making progress, feeling great. God, I've come so far in trading. Well, you come far in terms of time, but have you really made progress? So that's going to be the key. If you guys are tired of, not even tired, if you guys just want to get this thing kickstarted, get this party on the road, get the music rolling. What the fuck are we wasting time for? Be deliberate, 2, 3 weeks, learn, study, backtest, get in the game with confidence, stop hesitating or second guessing or doubting yourself, and all of a sudden, look, the results just basically follow that. Joe Dallas, good morning. AB Mike, Chris Brown, good morning. Chris Brown was here. Matt, early. Chris, appreciate you. Pops, what's going on? Webinar today, right? Yes. Would you consider shorting the top of the wick? Mike, I consider walking in traffic if you ever post some shit like that ever again to me. You should know better. Mike, one of our top students, Mike, I'll take our podcast down right now if you ever say short NASDAQ ever again to me in the same sentence. I'll shut down the stream right now. David Howard? David, are my eyes deceiving me? Ain't no way. David was somebody whose face I saw all the time on different whether it's Instagram or live streams, and so it's amazing to see old names and new names coming back. This is what I live for. Awesome stuff. Rich, good to see you. He said, "Howdy, fam. Howdy." What is that? One of a fucking Clint Eastwood? That was an insane trade. That was an insane trade. Took it when price reached a lower high retest. AB Mike, good for you, brother. Awesome stuff. Alfonso is still in it with 25% of the position. Love to see it. Wendy is still in it. Yes, still open. Make sure you guys are taking partial profits. AB Mike said, I saw Mike Pineda, your podcast today. Big W. I love to see that, Mike. Love the support, guys. But if Mike talks about shorting again, I'm going to shut down this channel, turn it into a fucking cooking show. Yeah, Mike. Staring, just fucking chewing on glass, staring at the abyss. Got fallen comrades left and right. Josh, this is how it works, buddy. All the attention's on you. Somebody wants to come through and just say something that much worse, and all of a sudden, no one cares. Now all eyes are on Mike. The thing about Mike is that he's going to do both. It's not like we're sitting here talking about Mike shorting. Mike is already in 7 shorts, 3 longs, and he invented a new position type just so he can fucking get in that too. So that's what's going on Mike's side right now. Oh, it's about to be a great day, yo. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's gonna be a good day to have a good day. Bro, you guys know that was funny as shit. Why then he invented a whole new trade type, like it's not even a buy or sell, because you guys get it, because Mike over trades and he's always just in buys, sells, either side making money, right? None of that, guys. It's an inside nobody wants to do the inside joke. Mike, did that cut too deep? What happened? Everybody kind of dried out on me. Okay. What up? David, good to see you on here, brother. Carlos, good to see you. Vincente, I can't say your last name because they're gonna clip that out of context, but what's up to you too, brother? So I'm still in mine at 1700. David Sanchez, buenos dias. Sup, brother? Good stuff. CFDB. I'm dyslexic, so I don't like the way that your name is set up. So it's the last time I'm saying your name, guy. All right, you put too many letters in your name. I got ADHD, so These are all jokes, by the way. If you guys are new to the live stream, this is a character I put on. Nothing I say should be taken serious. This is not financial advice for damn sure. Please do your own research, do your own analysis. Obviously, you guys can go back and check out the live streams in the past to see how these things are structured. I make a lot of jokes. None of it is to be taken serious or in full context representing the official opinions of chart addicts. It's early in the morning, right? We're watching paint dry, waiting for the market to come back to our entry. I'm gonna talk a lot of shit. I just say stuff, right? It's all jokes. It's a character I put on. I don't even mean any of this. None of this is even true, right? Not a single thing I've ever said on the live streams is true, or is it? We don't know, right? Got to make sure I protect myself, y'all. It's 2024. Just had to throw that out there. I'm a comedian. This is a character I'm playing. This is the WWE. Okay. Awesome. My name is Carlos, brother. All right. That's a lot better for me. Carlos, I like that. Mike said I thought it was hilarious. Mike, you already know that shit was funny, bro. All right. If nobody laughed at the Mike Pineda jokes, you either don't know Mike, right? Or you got no sense of humor. That's just there's only two things. I'm not gonna sit here and accept that the joke wasn't funny because obviously I'm fucking hilarious. So that's just off the table. So either you gotta fix your sense of humor, get it together. That's what I would suggest. All right. Let's take a look at Forex Factory. We have a pretty busy news week, especially tomorrow. For today, nothing, just durable goods orders. Let's talk about tomorrow. So, advanced GDP being the hot topic right now, it's employment, inflation, and GDP. We had a whole discussion about this, how the size of the economy, you're either in an expansionary environment or you're contracting. So your economy is either growing or it's shrinking in terms of its overall production, imports, exports, total consumption, etc. So GDP released in three different parts: preliminary, advanced, and final GDP. They're just, as more data comes in for that quarter, we're able to get a more accurate sense of what the real number is. That's coming out tomorrow. Very important. We were talking about the Bank of Japan and how big, how much attention there is on a potential pivot from the Bank of Japan. So all eyes are on that policy rate decision tomorrow. And then I know that there's one other piece of news that we had. Weekly unemployment claims, not too concerned with these. Pending home sales, I guess. Not for me, I'm not too focused on real estate as of right now. But I could have sworn we had something. Oh, PCEs on Friday. So PCE is the primary inflation measure that the Fed uses to make decisions. So it used to be CPI. CPI is not that accurate. PCE is more of an accurate measure of what consumers are actually spending money on. And so that's going to be a pretty big piece. And then revised consumer sentiment. After consumer sentiment, which is a survey, like they basically go out there and survey a bunch of people, and then they use that to sort of project out an expectation of what everyone feels. And then they'll resend out the survey and sort of revise those pretty regularly. So we're going to get the revised estimate of consumer sentiment. Sentiment basically just means how people feel. Consumer sentiment is how people feel about their ability to spend or to continue to spend. And so if they're confident about their economic situation, typically consumer sentiment is much higher. And if the people are feeling a bit scared of the recession, remember the whole reflexive cycle that we talked about? If people are concerned about a recession, then that sentiment typically is not good. And so that's going to be a very big tell. Next week, obviously, we have the Fed meeting. And so Jerome Powell is going to step on stage to remind everyone that there are no rate hikes, or sorry, rate cuts coming this year. Let's go Fed Watch, CME. Well, they've revised the expectations. So we have exactly a week before the next Fed meeting. They've revised the expectations from originally 7 rate cuts in 2024. Okay, that was the dominant consensus going into this year. You talk to the real estate guys, you talk to car dealers, anyone that was involved in lending or credit, they were all expecting rate cuts to start coming in, and for interest rates, whether it be credit card rates or commercial lending, mortgage rates, everything to come back down. It ain't happening. They've revised the estimates from 7 rate cuts down to 5 and then back down to 3. I'm betting we might even get 1 or 0. That's been my bet. All right. I revised my expectations from 7 to 2 or 2 to 3. That was kind of where we were headed to at the beginning of this year. If you read my 2024 Outlook research paper that I put out earlier this year, we were mentioning 2 to 3 rate cuts instead of that 7 that the big banks were sort of projecting. Now I'm saying 0 to 1 while they're still screaming 2 to 3. These guys lagging behind the ball, buddy. We ain't getting 3 rate cuts. It's just not happening. Where? Inflation is still upticking. And so it's too risky for us to start cutting rates because that would send inflation sky high. So let's take a look at the CME, the numbers here, which basically these are market. Sorry, guys, I got this thing. Oh, let me take a sip of water. Wow. Okay, so the CME Fed Watch tool. These are Fed funds futures. And so basically it's taking trading activity and using that as a proxy to figure out the probability of a rate cut. What is the market expecting in terms of rate cuts based on how they're betting on Fed funds futures, which are just a derivative contract where you can bet on the direction of the Federal Reserve monetary policy. So there's a 98% chance. So in other words, there is a 2% chance of a rate cut in the May 1st meeting. There's a 15% chance of a rate cut in the June meeting. There's a 37% chance of a rate cut in the July meeting. And there's a 45% chance of a rate cut in the September meeting. 42% chance in the November meeting, less, right? Less than the September meeting. And then December, there's a 33% chance of a rate cut. So these are all about, we got 50-50 over here. It's still up in the air in terms of the Q3 and Q4 possibility of a rate cut. As for the next 3 Fed meetings, the expectations of a rate cut at least for the next 2, we have 2%, 15%. And this is going to get revised down to be 2% here pretty soon. July is still up in the air. We might see a minor rate cut, if anything, but these are all going to get revised down. Does this make sense to everyone? The chances that we get a rate cut are very slim. So your humor makes this stream. Rich, I'm fucking hilarious. Right? Says, I have no clue who he is. That's why you got to check out the podcasts, my boy. You got to check out the Student Spotlights podcast. Not because it's a catchy name that I came up with, Student Spotlights. The thing has a ring to it, but also because these are great conversations. I interviewed so many incredible traders in my life, but I'll tell you guys one thing. The Student Spotlights are what I would say, like, to really take away info and go make money. Those are the best because they're the most relatable. We're not talking about how to buy your first 7 supercars. We're talking about how did you manage learning this strategy while you have a job, family, kids, the same shit that everyone has. Everyone's trying to balance trading with their family, with their life, with their personal situation. Hearing it from other people and then hearing how they've been able to like just create a system or create a schedule or dig deep and find a reason big enough to be able to, navigate trading with their daily life. These are the conversations that you want to, kind of expose yourself to. You want to listen to real people having real results, making it work with real day-to-day problems. And so highly recommend those. And of course, if you haven't checked out the Trading View podcast, absolute banger. I've listened to it about 50 times. Can't get enough. All right, so let's go around the horn here. Let's see what's the deal. So gold never broke above that zone. So we had one nice closure here at 23.23. You guys remember we were talking about Michael Jordan? 23.23. Market blew right through and then recovered. Closed back above the 23.23 and now is creating a higher low. If we maintain this higher floor, the magnet indicator, super secret magnet indicator, undefeated, undisputed, comes out of hiding. And this is where you get those TP zones. Okay, so we already have the trade all lined up. We're just waiting for that one last confirmation here. I would ideally like to see one more wick down and a closure above that 23.23 zone. We see that we have a very clear upside move, 2400 and then 2430 previous highs. All right. But we do need to see that closure above. Otherwise, this thing is going to melt and no bueno. Everything else is going according to plan. What is this? This is UJ? Members, for those the Chart Addicts VIP members, for those asking if the strategy works on other pairs, this is UJ. All right, we got all the phases. We got the double bottom right here, right at the entry zone, 88.6 boys never lose. Body of the candle closed above, so even though the wicks were below the zone, great entries right there. Body of the candle closed above, which is rock solid. Break, and then we end up coming back and using the 38 as the new floor. This is my favorite re-entry on UJ. We can do a whole class on this. It's the break and retest on UJ and come back and use the 38 as the new higher floor. That's that high probability re-entry to keep stacking into a trade that's winning. I don't do that on NASDAQ, but I would definitely do it on UJ. Extension level got hit perfectly. This is just the ugly price action. But when you really just take a step back in hindsight, it's about as textbook as it's going to get. Obviously, everything is clear in hindsight, though, ain't it? This is why we don't short US30, because I was waiting for the higher low entry. That doesn't mean I'm going to short it down. I'm going to wait for the buys. Better late than never. So we might, I mean, let's see if we get this move down. What I think is going to happen more than likely is a retest of this 28,260. And then it's going to kind of break through and make it seem like it's headed all the way back down, and then sharp recovery back above. Blow through the zone, sharp recovery back above. We get those two conditions. I'm taking this trade. Well, I ain't trading US30, but I will call this trade out at 28,260 off that break back in. Ideally, we got to push all the way back down to 37,700, but this ain't Alice in Wonderland. This ain't fucking Disney World. We just got to take whatever the market gives us. All right, there's some news here. You see the Jerome Powell. Inflation's last mile will test Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. Well, fucking thanks, Bloomberg. I get a fucking Nobel Prize for these guys over here. Said inflation's hard for the Fed. Wow. 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 How insightful. God, I'm so glad Bloomberg exists to give us the necessary info we need. Let's see what the Hill got. To fight inflation, we should look for ways beyond the Fed's policies. Bro, I need a refund on the brain cells I just lost on that one. Whoever wrote this article, shame on you, gulag. Why Joe Biden really, really wants lower interest? If you use really in a title, and if you use it twice, you should go back to fucking writing school. New York Magazine. We're not talking about New York Times or New York Post. We're not even talking about the New York Gazette. The fuck is New York Magazine? It sounds like a tabloid. It sounds like the TMZ. All right. Well, can I get, what the fuck is Inc.com? Bro, is Google trying to mess with me on purpose? Guys, okay, CNBC. Definitely a propaganda scam, but you know, at least I recognize the name. Wall Street Journal, Fed Chair Jerome Powell dials back expectations on interest rate cuts. Fucking Mensa level IQ over here. It's like everyone's telling us the most obvious. Like we know, I'm trying to look for something specific. Fed policy says restrictive rate policies need more time to work. Wow, there we go. A nice nuanced take from Reuters. Who would have thought? I like Reuters. At least they pretend to be impartial. They pretend to be unbiased. They kind of make a little last ditch effort, you know. They're like, oh, look at us, we're unbiased, right? Yeah. They low-key send the same script to all media outlets. So, look, right? I'd love to believe that. It's just not true. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Roy, you're such a smart person and you're like, you really see through the bullshit. What do you mean? Like you see that all the articles look the same and that you're using the same language. What do you mean they don't send out the same script? Look, y'all have way too much faith in people, man. Y'all are out here thinking that these people have enough brains to coordinate. Guys, look at COVID, right? Remember at the beginning of COVID when people thought it was actually going to kill everyone? Like when we thought it was actually going to kill everyone, there was no cooperation in the world. But if we can't fucking get more than 4 countries to agree on a thing when everyone's lives were, at the time we all thought it was at stake, you think that they can out here coordinate all this shit at the same time? But guys, it's really just people with the same interest are going to protect their interests. Let me use an example because I'm not going to shit on the Forex space. Let me use crypto as an example. The people who are running, let's say, sketchy NFT schemes where there's like a community, but they're not really a community and they're just sort of like keeping it around just long enough to sort of cash grab and leave. They're not all in a group chat saying, hey, don't say anything about this thing because it's going to sort of expose it. It's going to put too much attention and bring light to what we're doing. They just all going to have this unspoken thing, which is like, look, obviously no one's going to say anything because we're all making money. And so they just keep that game going. And that's really what's happening here. Now, with media outlets, they're really just that stupid. And it's follow the leader. So NPR and Reuters and AP, they'll post something. And then because, okay, God, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this. This is how most of the largest news agencies get their news. There's like this sort of there's like a real-time news loop that comes in to most people. It's like a broadcast that comes out to sometimes government sponsored, depending on the country, and sometimes it's just more of like an international source, like an AP, an Associated Press, where everybody has access to the info. And it comes through the ticker tape, and then depending on your political leaning, you'll just take this information and then write it in a way that fits the narrative and bias of your agency. And then you send it to your editor, and your editor is like, no, this isn't, this isn't talking shit about Trump enough. Go and make it worse about Trump. Then they go and cook it up a little bit more and then come back. So they're all reading the same news, the news alert that comes in live. And then the first 3 or 4 guys get it first, and everybody else is playing follow the leader. Take what happened with the Oanda Labs situation. When they announced the prop firm, there was, what was it, Yahoo Singapore or some shit like that? It was Yahoo Finance Singapore. They were the only ones who had posted an article. I went to their website, right, the Oanda Labs trader, saw the BVI entity, checked the license number and registration number for the BVI entity. It all checked out. It was a real thing. And then one by one, every single media outlet started reporting on the Oanda thing with the same language too. And it was the same exact language that we were using. It was it's hard to write a story in so many different ways. Like the guy crossed the street, the guy went across the street, the guy moved, serendipitously from one geographical location to the other. No matter how you phrase it, the dude walked across the street. There's only so many fucking ways you can spin that. Now, yeah, is there a giant media do I even listen to mainstream media? No. Did I get roasted for pulling up a few biased sources last time? I did. That happened, right? Roy, on gold for 2023, are we looking for a 4-hour closure above the wick, down, or at the daily time frame? By the time it hits on the daily 4 hour, it's too late, AB Mike. It's going to have to be 30-minute, 1 hour sort of situation. 1 hour more reliable on gold. 30-minute might be deceptive. So if you're going to use the smaller time frame, use the 3-step. If you're going to use the higher time frame, you can just wait for a daily 4-hour closure above. The 3-step on the smaller time frame would be number 1, break above the zone. So it'd have to closure above. Number 2, retest. So like you're going to have these retest candles close above the support, and then you're going to have a higher low. So at least 1 or 2 candles that close either with a rejection or that meaningfully the body closes above support. Body closes above that support. You get all those conditions, then you're ready for the buys, load up, and have fun. Obviously, with proper risk management, not financial advice. Don't be a goofy. He said serendipitously. Yes. Thanks, man. Follow your NAS100 last setup. Just made $4,200. Well, Temka, congratulations. So I love to see. Take the masterclass, learn how to do it for yourself. It's the only piece of advice I give to everyone who makes money on the live streams. The reason I do these is because we get the excuse of I can't afford the master class all the time. And then people come on here and you can make money. And then the biggest thing is reinvest your money in learning how to do it over and over and over and over and over again to make sure that cash flow never stops. So learn how to do this for yourself because as incredible as I am, I'm young, handsome, successful, I'm rich, I'm in great shape. You guys look just incredible, the whole package. But if I get busy, I got to go on this world tour, which is going to be happening in the first week and a half of May here coming up. We're going to be starting the world tour. We pushed it by a week, May 7th. If I'm on a world tour and I can't send out trades, what are you going to do? You're going to sit here and like, oh, hello, Doug, right? The meme. You guys know the Pablo Escobar meme where he's just staring out? This is how people are whenever I miss the live streams. I'll say Pablo meme, right? Let's go. This is how people get when I miss the live streams. What are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do if I got to go to Zurich or if I'm in Belize, right? I'm here touring Berlin. Yeah, people just sitting here waiting for me to do the live streams. Where's Roy? 45 minutes, 55 minutes? Really? How is he so late all the time? Is he going to show up? You can't put your family's hands, the family's future in my hands. You're sitting there sad. God, I wonder when the live button is going to pop back up. It ain't popping back up. You got to make your own way. No one's coming for you. That was my ad read for the live class, right? This is why we don't have any sponsors. Sponsors are sitting here. They all want to work with us. Obviously, everyone wants to work with us, right? I'm charismatic. We have one of the biggest kind of opportunity brands here in the entire trading space. Obviously, the world's largest trading conference in the world, can't beat it. So obviously, every brand wants to work with it. They get on here and see my ad reads where I'm like, get the fucking class. Get the fuck, stop drooling. You woke up drooling on yourself. You're probably still drooling on yourself right now, right? They hear this stuff and they're like, maybe we don't want him to advertise this Sasquatch soap or whatever the fuck they sell on YouTube. Said maybe Manscaped is sitting there like, said maybe we don't want him to fucking talk about this new ball trimmer. He said this guy might be a liability. Oof, incredible stuff. The level of speakers that we're lining up here for the crypto panels, I'm really looking forward to. We're looking at the top 10 crypto exchanges in the world on the list, and couldn't be more excited. It says pretty fun to hear you, but that just means you got good taste. I'll study it after the stream, the three-step method. Good stuff, AB Mike. It says BTC is bleeding. Not bleeding. It's getting there though. Just guys, just so oh no, I just deleted it off my watch list. But we've been talking about this for months, and I'm not going to let anybody take it away from us. We know exactly what we're looking for. We know exactly what the market is doing. Oh, it actually is bleeding. Oh, you're right. But we know exactly what the market is looking for, and it's not going to change. Um, it is very straightforward here. Very straightforward what we're expecting. We're expecting the relief bounce at the Bitcoin halving, which we just got. And now I'm going to be looking for that sort of push to the downside. All right, which is kind of what we're getting now. So in the big picture, it's still early in the game here. Buy up as much Bitcoin as you can. That's the way it goes. $4,000 on the live stream is crazy. Yeah, it is. Bro, post it up on social media, man. Don't be shy. You guys out here fucking gatekeeping your results from people. You got friends out here losing. You got people on social media out here losing. They just don't know up from down. We need real traders, not affiliates, not people who have a financial incentive to push the game, to push the the results, but just results for results' sake. Like, look what just happened. This is what we do. He said, you're just what people need, no fluff, straight facts. Well, I couldn't, and I can't argue that. But what people need and what people want are two different ball games, ain't it? Right? That's kind of what I try to. Whoa. That's kind of what I try to do with the live streams, which is I'm trying to give you guys just enough of what you want, right? Which is I'll just rip on some random company out here in the Forex space. I'll be funny as hell so I can give you what you need, which is this trading value. And it's a tough balance. It's really what we try to do. There's really no secret with our marketing stuff. It's just, all right, yeah, we do the clickbaity thumbnail and we try to give people what they want and we try to give as many opportunities to sort of make it entertaining and engaging, but just enough so that I can just get you what you need. Because if I tell people discipline and hard work and take the master class and like actually put in work and shit, everyone's like, yeah, fuck that, right? That's whack. No one wants that. If I'm like precision entries, I'm just showing you how you can become a precision entries. People love that. Give people what they want. You're going to be a fucking sniper. And now they're like, yeah, I got to study for 3 months and like just study all this stuff so I can become a sniper. Fine, I'll do it. Right. So now they're willing to put in all the work and do everything they need to do just so they can get that thing. Perfect. I love it. Do the work. Right. Whether you're happy, sad, whether you're optimistic about the future or not, whether you believe in yourself and have the confidence or not, if you put in the work, you're going to make the money. And I don't mean put in the work as in, trading is work. Put in the early work of studying and backtesting and building confidence and building your sort of second nature pattern recognition when finding these opportunities on the charts. You put in that work, you're going to make the money, whether you feel like it, whether you don't feel like it. It's the way it goes. Market is very choppy today. Hell no, it's not. This is about as smooth as it could possibly get. Could not have hoped for anything better. We're getting all the rejections that we need. Just need to see price come back down to a beautiful 17,555. Right? Felt like Cripmac for a second. 17,555. 55th. Okay. I told my whole squad about this live and how it leveled up dramatically. I kind of sometimes feel bad when folks recommend the live stream to their friends and they show up and it's just me whiling here. Because obviously, guys, trading, I'm a slave to the market. I'm literally just sitting here like an idiot, waiting for price to get down to my entry zone so I can buy it. And by candle, the market is my boss. So if I wasn't on the live streams, what do? I'm just setting alerts. I'm setting a price alert at every level, and I'm going to see Jimbei. I'm gonna go see the Jimbei, and I'm gonna go get myself an acai bowl or something, whatever the fuck people do in their free time. Then I'm gonna come back and do a bunch of meetings. And in between those, my phone's gonna go buzz, 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 buzz. And I'm gonna open it, and it's gonna be right at my entry zone, and I'm gonna have an opportunity to take a buy trade. And if it just blows right through my zone, I wait for the recovery, or I just let it bleed down to the next levels. So I just look at my phone, it's at my entry. Awesome. Scale down one time frame. Is it rejecting? No. Then don't buy it. And I could do that from anywhere. I can do that on the go. I can do it in an elevator. I can do it at a red light. And so my job is basically done. So for the rest of the time, I'm just here chopping shit. So if you're going to invite your friends on here, give them a warning, right? Say, number one, if you have an issue with cursing, first off, you need new friends. Your friend's too sensitive, and you're an adult, you're not a monk. So the world sucks. I'm gonna just let you know this, and you can make it better by not being sensitive to curse. But just give them a heads up if you're gonna invite your friends on here. A lot of valuable information. We go through macroeconomics, probably some of the best and most nuanced takes that you're gonna find on macro anywhere, because I'm gonna lay it down exactly how it is. But it's also gonna come with a little bit of a little bit of me wiling out on these live streams, calling people out, using profanity, obviously deliberately being, obnoxious and putting on a good show. Do you mind going through gold again? I joined late. I do mind. Just go ahead and rewind the stream a little bit. I did too as well. I told most of my friends, they're still not grasping it. They're still traumatized from the IML days. Yeah, look, at this point, the goal is not to convince people to start trading. Like, this is not for what the chart addicts community is for. This is for people who are trading and just want to get to the point where they're winning at this point, right? Just get me to the finish line. That's what they want. I'm not here to convince people to be traders, and I never have been. Go watch our early streams. I'm embarrassed at, watching back some of those things, but the information is true as ever. I'll tell people trading is probably not for you. I used to be a dickhead back then because I really prided myself on feeling like I was that special for having found success in trading because you had to just be the top 1% of mental strength, and you really do. But trading is easier than ever because there's so much good strategies out there, so much good information. I mean, and there's so many great strategies out there that you can just copy and paste. And at this point, it's so much easier than when I was getting started, right? But trading is not for everyone. And that's why, again, just to kind of circle back to the main conversation, I don't try to convince people that trading is the right thing for them. Because let's be real, guys, it probably isn't. It'll probably ruin their lives. And you'll be the one responsible for it. That's why IML was so destructive, is because trading can really ruin your life if you're not in control. It's like gambling. It can completely devastate your life. And the IML situation was just sort of trying to convince people that everybody could do it and that it doesn't take anything special to do it. And there's no commitment in order to be successful because they're giving you these tools that should equalize, your disadvantage against these institutions, right? They have scanners and all these things. And so the idea behind IML is genius, is let's create technology like these scanners and indicators and things that will give the retail trader an advantage over institutions by giving them ability to access great strategies very simplistically and just copy and paste. If that ain't fucking genius, I don't know what is, right? No one's going to be able to convince me that's not the absolute best idea that's come out of the trading space in years. What went wrong? Trading is hard, and selling the idea of trading is easy, right? Oh, everybody Lamborghini, right? Quick money, click buttons, make money on your phone. Easiest pitch of all time. Trading, not so easy. And so clearly the incentive was always going to go towards selling the product as opposed to using the service yourself. And that became the big problem. More people were incentivized to sell the thing than to use it, as with every multi-level marketing scheme. No one's drinking that $300 protein. No one's using that $500 Cutco knife, right? But they're selling the fuck out of that thing. So that's why those two things can't mix. That's my big issue with the affiliate systems with prop firms, is that when what's that saying? Is that you can't get a man to see the truth when his salary depends on him not seeing it, or something like that. Like you can't expect a man to see the truth when his salary depends on him ignoring it, basically. And that's the incentive. Is like people are ignoring what IML was doing and the danger it was and the risk it was having on people. So yeah, trading not for everyone. The big issue that they were having is just sort of the incentive structure. And I think it only got worse. I think the prop firms were 10 times worse than IML because they were trying to convince everyone that everyone was winning. And look at this affiliate that we paid out through deal and that posted a 30K payout, this unrealistically high payout. This could be you. And now 50,000 blown challenges later, no one's got a $30,000 payout. Some folks got some great payouts, but they're advertising the biggest payout holders to sort of incentivize folks. And the affiliates were like, well, my prop firm can do no wrong, et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest, I genuinely feel like it was worse than what IML did. So that's my hot take for you guys. I did two as well. Most of my friends, they're not grasping. Ooh, okay. How we doing, y'all? I got a pretty busy day, so I'm gonna hop off here soon. I wanted to stay just long enough for price to get down to the entry, but buddy, this thing is taking its sweet ass time. Might have to wait till noon or later at this point. Another hour or two should be good. All right, I'm gonna set my alarms or set my alerts here. Beautiful. I got two alerts set. I'm gonna have one at the bottom of this wick, so I get an early, like before it even hits my entry, I get alerted so I can prepare and get ready to set an order there. And then I'm gonna have one below this zone in case it breaks, so I know if it breaks. And then what I'll even do is put one more above the zone in case it breaks to the upside. So if I miss the trade and just starts to, move without warning, I will be alerted. That way I do not have to stare at the charts. I can even close the web page and just check it on my phone. Big, big, big announcement. Number one, the live class for the NASDAQ 100 Masterclass is May 1st. Grab your tickets, the link in the description below. FX Summit 2024 conference, new dates and venue officially announced November 20th to the 22nd at the Festival City Arena in Dubai. Incredible venue, incredible location, and the dates are just that much better. So go and grab your early bird tickets while they're still available. And I had one more announcement. Oh yeah, the podcast with TradingView is now available on YouTube. The full podcast, unedited. Well, no, it's edited. It's edited. Let's be real. We edited it. All right. I asked him some pretty personal questions, and he was like, we're not going through that. So it's a little bit of editing, but it's now publicly available on our page. If you guys want to go hear TradingView's perspective, Roy, why would I want to care about what TradingView is saying? Roy, I want to watch supercars and I want to watch this cooking video with these fucking, you right? Why would you care what TradingView has to say? Maybe they're connected to the 50 largest brokers in the world. Maybe they're in the middle of all of the world's information, right? Maybe they have the connection to every broker, to every prop firm, to every single platform that's available out there, and they're in the middle of the mix. So what would they know about prop firm regulations and the end of an era? What would TradingView know about what the future of trading looks like? What would TradingView know about building technology for the future of traders? They might know a thing or two. Why didn't I trade the S&P? Well, Will, I used to trade the S&P 500 on these live streams and for the chart addicts community. I even posted this markup. I got this thing from like, I think it was Snapchat or something like that, of a trade from 2-3 years ago. Same strategy. But it was just fun for me to go back and see. Here it is. And so I used to trade a very similar system on S&P 500. This is April 21st, so literally 3 years ago today. All right, 3 years ago today, same system, S&P 500. All right, for the Chart Addicts members, if you guys look very closely here, okay, this is a model one. So you have phase one, and then you have phase two up. This is a tap and go. So you have the consolidation, you have phase two, tap, and then go. And so we had the fake up, push back in, and that was a news trade that happened this was 1 4-hour candle that went straight to TP. And the TPs have always been accurate, 4163.3, right, to the decimal place. 4163.3. Huh? Come on now. Always been accurate. Same exact system, but on S&P 500. Now, why did I move over to NASDAQ? There came a time where I realized I need to be involved in markets that I know have a potential to be here for the next 5-10 years. Now, I have no interest in day trading cryptocurrencies with margin. I've tried, not for me. So I'm like, okay, well then what other instrument is going to be bigger and bigger over the next 5-10 years that has a very clean price action that I can build a repeatable system on? And NASDAQ was just the clearest choice. It represents the tech sector in the United States. So obviously the US stock market is, it's thriving, and I think the AI revolution is going to push it to the next level here, because it's not only going to create the next level of these mega companies like Nvidia, but it's going to create the ability for traditional companies to start using artificial intelligence to grow exponentially. So I think that the size of the game is only going to get bigger and bigger over time. And then specifically the tech sector has the biggest upside potential. And so being involved in NASDAQ means we're going to take advantage of this hype for the next 5-10 years, right? The direction is clear. It's bullish. The volatility is there because I know that NASDAQ is correlated with the liquidity cycle. Liquidity is the biggest corollary to NASDAQ's performance. And if I can just gauge global liquidity, and you can use the global liquidity index and some other measures, to sort of just see how much money is sloshing around the system. But it's a very clear thing for me. Then I developed the 88-6 strategy with the model, and it's been game over ever since. And so I'll answer it the same way I answered the gold question last week, which is if I'm so accurate, why don't I trade gold? It's because I'm making such good money and I'm so consistent with NASDAQ. I just don't want to fuck it up. Why would I start looking left and right? It's like, wow, I finally got in a great relationship with this wonderful woman of my dreams. Awesome. Time to start looking for whores. No, you lost the plot. You made it, right? You're at the finish line. Stop and smell the flowers, right? So I'm sticking to NASDAQ because this is what I was working towards, finding something I'm very consistent with, finding something that's going to make me money. And now that I'm here, I'm going to start looking left and right and getting distracted. You guys know the meme where the guy's walking with this girl and he turns around, there's another girl, and he's looking at her instead? Why would I do that? The webinar will be live on YouTube. No, it will not be. Matter of fact, I think we're gonna have to push the webinar because we don't even have the registration link. People have been so busy with FX Summit that things have just sort of you guys get what I'm saying? It's getting the registrations up on time and then getting that link up so that everyone can register for the class. That it did not happen. So I gotta have a talk with my team right after this, see what we can do. Navigating being a trader and all the other responsibilities, it is what it is. How can I join? Do I need to register somewhere? The thing is, I could have sworn we had the registration link on the website, but I don't see it. There's the registration for the masterclass itself. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, well, here's the easiest thing that everybody can do is if you guys go down to the website and then just hit this thing that says subscribe to our newsletter. Just enter your email. We send out emails all the time with all the info that you'll need, with all the links that you'll need. So if you just head down to the bottom of the page and just submit your email, I guarantee you're going to get those emails and they'll have everything that you need in there. You won't miss a thing if you're subscribed. Okay. What did TradingView have to gain from being interviewed by you? What was their angle? Huh. Good question. There is no fucking angle. I'm him. What type of goofy ass question is that? I said, Roy, why would anyone want to sit down with you and what do they have to gain? Buddy, have you seen me? Who the fuck would not want to sit down with me? The guy's out of his fucking mind. Do you not see the level of the questions I ask? But yeah, how can I be this technically skilled at trading and also just be one of the best interviewers of all time? Yo, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to him and tell you this truth. So just gonna cut through the bullshit. I'm definitely the best interviewer in the Forex space on my life. And I'm definitely top 5 podcasters or interviewers on all of YouTube right now. I can promise you, give me a Dana White, give me any of these any of these guys that do the podcast circuits, right? They go on the Theo Vaughns and they go on the Joe Rogans and right. I like Joe, but his questions are fucking retarded, right? Let's cut through the fucking meat and potatoes. Joe's sponsors, those sponsorship dollars is sky high. But he ain't about to ask any fucking relevant question. He's just gonna sit there and give you a third grade take. Well, the people are just really upset, Well, yeah, no fucking thanks, Joe. I fucking wow, couldn't have figured that one out, right? Well, I can definitely host the best. So what do they have to gain? They get to sit down and talk to me. They get to sit down and have a conversation with your boy. You out of your fucking mind. Alfonso, it's not confidence, brother. It's truth. There's a difference between confidence and certainty. There's a very big difference. Confidence is like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna rock that out. When I say we're gonna host the world's largest trading conference this year, it's not because I'm confident. It's because I'm dead certain. And how can I be dead certain about something that hasn't happened yet? Because I'm willing to do whatever it takes and put my life on the line to make sure it happens. So it's either going to happen or I'm going to die and I'm not going to be around to fucking deal with the loss. It's just, I'm going to put my all into it. That's certainty. That's why. Now, what do they have to gain? To be honest, really, we're just good friends. Like, what does TradingView have to gain from coming and speaking at the FX Summit the first year? What do they have to gain from speaking at the second summit? What do they have to gain from sponsoring the trading challenge last year? What do they have to gain from coming out, supporting and speaking at FX Summit 3 and, introducing us to the largest brokers in the game? What do they have to gain? Think about it. Just think for a second. Maybe I'm him. You goofy. Bro, look at my track record. Bro, play for play, scene for scene, right? Ray Charles could see how bright this future looks. They want to be on board. They understand the vision. Plus, there really are no trading conferences that are geared towards the trader. It's all B2B businesses trying to sell services to each other, or it's an institutional conference, basically a giant buy side, sell side circle jerk. There is no conference for the actual trader. Now, we bring together institutions. We bring together the biggest crypto names. We bring together up and coming startups. We bring together tech providers and people who are day traders and investors really doing it, the average guy. That does not exist. It's the perfect place for traders. Like how does the idea of the FX Summit not make sense? You get institutions and startups in the same room so that the traders get a holistic perspective on how the game works, on where the future of the markets are headed, where trading is headed in the future. Then you head to the expo and you meet all the big brands and names that are building this stuff out. And you get to verify it for yourself, look them in their eyes and talk to their team to see if that's somebody you can trust. How is that not the greatest idea of all time? How? You guys put a one in the chat if that idea just sells itself. Oh, people acting like this is fucking rocket surgery. How could this have happened? How could the TradingView have? Bro, it's the Rolling Loud. This is Coachella. This is the High Times Canada. This is SneakerCon. This is the hallmark event. This is it. I saw Anthony is going to make a new summit. Ha! All right, look. I normally don't do this, but best of luck, right? There's a reason that no one's done a conference up until now, people. All right, none of these guys want to get off the money train and go. You take time away from their business because again, we could be building chart addicts and really growing this thing and making all this big money at chart addicts and the supercars and the stuff, or we could be putting every single dollar into creating the world's largest event so we can have a legitimate industry. Because right now the Forex space is either IML or Miami scammers or take your pick. And so we have to establish something that's legitimate, that has the big names come and support. Right? So the reason that no one does it is because it's too expensive, it's too fucking hard, takes too much time and takes too much attention away, and it takes a lot of sacrifice. Because in order for us to offer the opportunities to a lot of these big names, you guys have to understand everybody thinks that they're the A-side player. So you have to make a lot of compromises and put yourself in second place. Now, how many people in the Forex industry that you guys can just see from their persona is going to put themselves in second place and give somebody else the better end of the deal? And then make sure that if they have to lose money on something just to make sure that it goes right, that they honor their responsibilities, they're going to make that happen. How many of these guys do you think is going to do that? How many of you guys are going to realize that the politics in the Forex space alone is going to stop them because they have too much sort of issues with everybody else? And that's going to, oh, well, this guy has an issue with this guy, and we can't have these two people on stage, and et cetera, et cetera. So the people that have money in this space that could just do it, they ain't going to do it because they're making easy money, posting a picture on social media of a supercar, and the broker signups are coming in. They ain't ready for real work, right? You got to roll up your sleeves for this shit. The people that have a bigger reputation than us and a bigger brand and everything, they don't want to do this either. Too much BS involved. And those are people who sort of have that desire and everything. They're like, yeah, fuck Roy, we're going to start our own conference. Da, 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 da. They get there and they realize how much we spent on the conference, and they're like, Jesus, Lord, have mercy, bro. There's no way. There's no way they actually spent this much money. And the answer is yeah, we did. We're psycho like that. Take a guess how much we spent on that weekend. Just take a wild guess. People, I don't live a flashy lifestyle, but I guarantee if we're going to sit here and start flexing, there's zero competition. Hands down, no competition at all. By the way, CA members, I see this break point right here. Uh, this is kind of second play for me, which is that 508 zone. And so I'm not going to put in the tester entry just yet. That shit is so enticing. Damn. If I do put in a tester entry, it's not going to be 1/3. It'll have to be like 1/4 or less. A quarter of my trade size goes in here, and then if it dips down lower, I'm going to have to put in the real position size right here. I'll look like this. But give it a second to blow through that zone and then come back up. So yeah, long story short, I don't know if I answered your trading view question, but we're very good friends, right? They're incredible people. We have a lot in common and we share some common values, and that's why they're great supporters of ours. Long story short. That's my new thing, by the way. I say long story short after making a short story about as long as humanly possible. Said, Roy, what color is the sky? And I'm sitting here talking about the sky, but you should have seen what they did to the guy that did the thing. And now 15 minutes later, I'm like, all right, so long story short, it's blue. And everybody just got this stunned look on their face, just shut, absolutely mortified. Is it that was short? That was a short story? Roy, the GOAT, you got to respect this man. David, I appreciate you, brother. I'm not the GOAT. I fit the description, though. Just gonna be honest with you. Peaky M&B said, dude, you're funny. I'm fucking hilarious, Peaky. All right? I'm just putting it that way. Said funny. Funny, funny like how? Funny how? Like I'm a clown? Funny like I amuse you? Christine said I closed out. Smart move. That thing is probably going to blow through the zone first. But that's why we put in a tester entry. The tester entry for me is not about making money. Because obviously, like if it plays out, you're going to make money. But it's a quarter of the position size. So you're not making a meaningful impact on your P&L. The real reason is psychological. Because I realize most of my mistakes come from, let's say I miss a trade and I feel like I now have to overcompensate by forcing the next entry or something. Right? Um, So I put in the tester entry that way if the market leaves the station and doesn't give me a chance to put in a full position size, I don't have that FOMO because I at least have my foot in the door. I at least have something in. Now, we can all pretend like we're Gandhi and that I don't feel phased at all. On my best days, I don't feel phased when I miss the trade anyways. But this is to protect me on my worst days. That's why I put in the tester entry. And I don't really know if it's my best day or my worst day until I'm forced to deal with an emotional situation. And now I'm sitting there watching this trade rip and I'm not in it. And I needed that 5,000 bucks. And I'm just watching the thing just leave. And now I'm just making stupid decisions. So to combat that, I created a framework which is basically, scaling in, scaling out, taking partials and protecting my mental peace because that's where prime decision making happens is when you have the mental capacity and the lack of distractions to be able to effectively make good logical decisions. I'm going to sell on US30. Can we have a moment of silence? Everybody say RIP SkyFX. We have a moment of silence. But I might send you to the gulags before the market can, just to sort of give you a little warm up, give you an appetizer before the market has a chance to mollywop you across 3 different price delivery arrays. RIP Sky. Got another fallen comrade. Man down, boys. Man down. Said, bro, you're smart. Well, no, Renoku, I'm a fucking genius. All right, this is Mensa level IQ at work here, and you're basking in the glory of this right now in real time. All right. So get up, go to the mirror, go look yourself in the mirror and say thank you. Say thank you to you. Right? Thank yourself for getting on the stream today. Probably the best decision you're gonna make all day. All day, from start to finish. You're welcome. He says, I'm new here, man. You sound like a G. Not only do I sound like one, I said I live like one too. Sky FX, moment of silence for you, my comrade. Now, to be completely honest, I haven't even checked. Buddy could be up a bag on some US30 sells. Now, Buddy's about to make some real money. Huh. I was mistaken, Sky FX. Maybe we'll save the maybe we'll save the funeral processions till later. Oh, huh. Yeah, this thing looks like it's headed down to 38,250. We're still kind of making that move. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Now, am I stubborn enough to not accept that as a loss? Yeah, so we're just gonna give that one some time here, and then we'll pick back up tomorrow. Sky FX, if it does sell off, I'm gonna make a public apology to you tomorrow. I'm gonna make a public apology for you tomorrow in front of everybody. I'm gonna stand in front of this podium and make a special announcement and say, guys, Sky FX was right. I was wrong. I'm gonna wear the hat that says Goofy on it. It's just gonna say Goofy. It's just gonna say Big Goofy at the top. And I'm gonna admit it to everyone that I was wrong, Sky FX. But if it's not, then you have to post on your story saying that Chart Addicts live streams are goated, legendary, and you're gonna have to spend a little bit of time in the gulag. Deal or no deal. All right, it's an ultimatum. Are you in or are you out, Sky FX? In regards to your views, I've watched some podcasters and they said that if they don't curse, it helps out with the YouTube algorithms and ended up helping their views. Killa Cali 42 with some insight here. Go ahead and write that one down. See, it's like this is stuff that we all know, but now I have to contend with the fact of do I have to sit here and monitor my speech on these streams? Like would I rather have 100,000 viewers on the stream? Because I'll be saying the same exact stuff, 100,000 or 100 people. Except would I rather have 100,000 people and I can't curse and I have to police my own speech? Or have, 100 people and I'm gonna sit here and just rip and just let it go? And which one's better? God, that's a tough choice for me, right? Oh, there's 100,000 people watching the stream. I give a fuck, right? I give a fuck. You know what I value? Freedom, people. Freedom. They try to silence my speech when I worked at the bank. I was their property. I was their property. They wanted to know all my investments outside, my activities, what I was doing. I was their property. Now I'm free. That's why I curse so much, is I feel like a free man, right? It's like a guy got out of jail, now just enjoying freedom every day. Like, oh, all right, bro, you don't have to walk around naked, in the not naked. You don't have to walk around shirtless doing burpees and shit in the park and whatnot. Then, bro, I'm enjoying the freedom. I'm gonna do burpees at the park. I'm gonna do burpees at 7-Eleven. I'm gonna do fucking burpees at the at in church, everywhere. David says cursing only matters if you do it in the first 5 minutes. Trust. All right. Is that true or are you just making that up, David? Because that's actually huge. Bro, I'm legit a subscriber now. Well, Gags, it just means you got a good head on your shoulders. You probably got some fucking sense on like 99% of the other, you know what I'm saying? 99% of the world. It's a tough trait to have. All right, Sky FX is already in break even, but how you about to make a bet with me? You're already in break even, but he's got the win-win situation here. Are you in trade or waiting for the trigger price? I entered a tester entry, which is basically like a very small position, usually a quarter or less of your overall position size. And I'm going to enter the rest of my position here at 5.0 or 5.15, right? So it's going to dip through the zone a bit, and I'm going to enter the trade at 5.15. Now, if there's a chance that the market blows all the way through these zones and then closes back above, then I'll just take another entry down here instead. Either way, the trades are either 3-1 or 4-1. So if the first trade loses with a tester, you're not losing a full 1%. And so when you go to make back the money on the 3-1 opportunity, it'll be quick to recoup what you lost on the tester. Hopefully that wasn't too complicated. That was Police State Productions. Check the MAs, but I ain't doing nothing you say. I know my rights. All right. I don't wish to discuss my day. I don't wish to discuss my day. Police State Productions. Ah, the fucking nerve, the gall, right? The gumption of these people. He says, bro speaks too much. Peaky, ow, jump through the screen and smack the life out of you, but I don't tell me I speak too much or too little. All right? You are not the arbiter of what is too much, too little, not enough, or too funny or not funny enough. All right? I am. It's true. If you actually watch big podcast, their shit only gets affected if they curse in the first 5, 10 minutes. To be honest, if I just like good conversations, dude. Fuck this algorithm nonsense. Like you gotta game the algo and shit. But if it's gonna make me rich, I'm watching it. I don't care if it's 3 hours. I don't care if it's 3 minutes. I don't care. I don't care about any of it. You're cursing. You're like whatever. Like as long as this information is going to get me to break out of this nonsense, it's going to get me to get rich, and it's going to give me an advantage above everybody else who's still having a conversation about curse words over there, way back there. They're murmuring, talking about, oh, the cursing and cursing. They're having the whole discussion. I'm 3 miles ahead about to lap these guys because I'm just more focused on the subject matter instead. So I don't really pay attention to what affects views and what doesn't. Like I know that if we clickbait the title and thumbnail, it's going to pop off. But I know that my only interest is having great conversations. Look at the podcast. This is back to the swear jar. Pops, you're trying to get me broke. My dad's trying to get me broke. The swear jar was this idea that we created that I'm pretty sure it was James. James, I'm pretty sure it was your idea. Uh, to basically keep me accountable. Every time I curse, I put money in the jar and I'm going to have to donate the money to charity. It got out of hand pretty quick. Let's just say could have built St. Jude's a whole new wing in their hospital with, well, and I talk like a sailor. What do you guys want from me? What do you want from me, y'all? Right? I'm just speaking as it comes. This is just a live stream of consciousness happening in real time, right? Unless you guys want me to filter my speech, put a little layer in between it. Don't you guys want? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should. Maybe I'd just go ahead and hide some information. Is that what you guys want? No. And so if I gotta let it rip, watch these streams on mute if you have to. That's my advice. Because when it's time to take the trade, then you can just click the buttons and you can watch it on mute if it's an issue. That I think is the best advice. That's real. It's the only stream I can sit on that's trading related. We'll fuck with the Chart Addicts program too. See and heard enough. Well, 7-figure mission. Seems like that mission is going to be headed in the right direction. You're in the right place. This talk normal filtering is dumb. Yeah. Can you show me analysis on US30? No. But what you can do is rewind the stream. Okay. You can rewind the stream and you can see it. It says, bruh, not the extra wing at St. Jude's. Well, I love St. Jude's. We have a great relationship with them as well. And so always down to support the cause, right? Always down. Sky effects at I trade support resistance. Guys, get the traffic ready for me. I'm ready to walk in it. I'm ready to do my fucking pacer test right now. Somebody, please. This is nuts. You know what we really need is a real boot camp. You guys know, somebody help me out here. I'm trying to make an obscure cultural reference, but I can't remember the fucking dude's name. Who's the guy from that movie Dodgeball? The guy who's crippled. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. What's his name? Something O'Houlihan? Patches? Patches? Is that his name? Bro, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Somebody help me out here. That's what we need to do. All right, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to put up a bunch of trades, and everyone's going to have to live trade with me throwing all types of stuff at them, and with the burr, 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 and just the noises and all. It's going to be a real fucking boot camp. People are like, "Oh, but the cursing is getting in my way, and I can't focus on the trading." I'm like, "Well, wait till you see what the market's going to do to you." All right, I'm putting in another tester entry here. All right, and just in case we go lower, I still want to leave some ammo on the sidelines, but this is going to smooth out the average. First, I'm going to give you guys that visual reference here. So you guys can see that the average entry price between both just kind of evened out because I put the larger position at the bottom, and now I have to do this on my phone. Should have done it on my phone first because this is where it matters. All right, got it. Nice. Nice. He said they probably weren't spanked as kids, way too sensitive. Yeah, that's for damn sure. Or their parents are probably stupid, right? They were probably spanking them for cursing or something stupid. It's like, bro, adults are just fucking retarded everywhere. And I know I'm not supposed to say that word, but like, let's just look at the state of parenting around the world. It's like everyone's like, oh, well, these guys weren't spanked as kids. But a lot of people were spanked by fucking idiots, right? They'll be like, oh, don't do this thing. It's like, oh, you're 52 and you're making 15K a year and you're miserable every fucking day. Excuse me, right? All due respect, the fuck do you know about life? You clearly messed this. You clearly failed. It's clearly not working out. And they'll go and they're spanking their kids, telling them, don't do this and don't do that, right? It's like, oh, you got to discipline your kids. Bitch, what the fuck do you know about life? Is it clearly not a single aspect of your life is working out the way you wanted, right? Leave the, right? Guys, are we on the same page about this? This is 95% of people. 95% of people have no fucking clue what they're doing, and they're raising children in that same destructive habit pattern. Why do you think so many people are broke? There's some people right now making $500,000 this month that are about to fly wherever they want, and they're about to order whatever, and they're about to have activities that are limited to people like them. And there's other people that are just completely cut out from that game from start to finish, right? Because they just did not have the right tools or the right information or the right access. So parents are here disciplining their kids, doing all this stuff, ain't teach their kids how to make a dime, ain't teach their kids any good character to be able to actually make a change in the world. They're literally just, everybody's still useless from start to finish. So it all comes back to the root. Yeah, of course. Kids are just kids, man. The kids are malleable. Adults are just stupid. Most adults. Sorry, excuse me. You know? This is real, man. Raising kids is like, I look around at people every day and I realize that is where the problem was. It was their parents fucked it up. Their parents before them fucked it up. And so you look back, so I can't blame my parents because it was their grandparents' fault. If you're listening to this, let me tell you right now, whatever excuse you've been fed up until this point for why your family has all its problems, saying it's generational curses and all that other dumb shit, that's an excuse. Superstition is another word for fear. Superstition is another word for I don't like to take accountability, right? It's something you hear a lot from like the horoscope people. It's always the people who literally are allergic to taking responsibility for their life that believe in superstitious stuff. It's always the people that do not want to acknowledge that every goddamn thing from start to finish for the rest of your life comes back to you and you only, right? Somebody hit your car and you were inside, right, having a drink, still your fault. You're fucking broke and you can't afford to put your car in a private parking lot. Still your fault. Everything is your fault. So you have a choice here. Whatever your story you were fed, you have a choice to basically be better in the future and to make those necessary changes so that you can be successful and have whatever you want. So you can have the character, so you can have the capacity, so you can have the financial capability to do all the things you want to do. Right? But it all is on you. So all the excuses about how you were raised and how things are, and this is just the way things are, that don't fly no more. As a trader, you have to have, like, you got to be the change. You have to be that shift. You have to be the break in the cycle. These guys are still talking about selling US30. Oh wow. Sky FX, I'm gonna get the apology here ready. Yeah, we're gonna be breaking these lows, guys. We're breaking these lows on US30. It's gonna go way into the zone, and it's gonna probably get around to the 38,000 region. Around the 38,000 region, close to this previous low. That's probably where we can start to bottom off. All right, Sky FX. You win one. Oh, Magnet is coming out for gold. Almost. Almost. So we still don't have a closure above these previous highs. We now have this nice clean break on the 1 hour. So if the next 45 minutes, shit, dude, in the next 13 minutes, if this 30-minute candle closes above the highs, wait for a pullback, and then you can enter the pullback for gold. That's where the magnet is going to come out. 2353 is target 1, 2400 is target 2. Don't say that you were not warned. This is the gold trade. Don't say that you were not warned. Okay. God love for US30 to come all the way back down. But that's just wishful thinking. Bitcoin really is dipping down. Wow, clean rejection of the extension level here on USD JPY. I think it's going to play around and then continue bullish. I'm very bullish on UJ, obviously. This is starting to look very suspect on NASDAQ. I'm going to give it a second because even if the market's bearish, there's still a very good chance that we get a retracement first before we crash. One big thing about trading is you can never panic. So if you're in drawdown and you start to feel uncomfortable in a trade position, closing out in a loss is what most people want to do just to get out of the discomfort. If you waited a little bit, the market might go into some more drawdown, but then you'll recover for a pullback and then drop, and you would have been able to close in profits had you been a bit more patient. Okay, so you have to get over the worst case scenario fear every time, which is what if it hits stop loss? Okay, what if I'm going to lose money? How much money? Okay, am I okay with losing that amount of money? The answer is yes. Perfect, nothing changes. The answer is no. I better cut down the size of this trade right now. Because if I ain't ready for it at this price, I'm definitely not going to be ready for it if it comes down and hits my stop loss. So you have choices here. And so after you accept the risk, then you're able to have that sort of calm, which is not calm, but sort of understanding that I'm at least like, I'm already in this loss. Right? I've sort of already accepted that the market could break through my stop loss. Let me at least give it a chance to recover. And because of that patience, sometimes we do get the pullback and we're able to close in profits and sort of avoid the loss. All right. It's been a very up and down thing. 7-figure mission. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. It means a lot. My dad said I can see I did a bad job. Pops, you did an absolutely incredible job. Because if you guys hadn't basically set up these guardrails, I'd be on the loose. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be jumping out of an airplane on a Tuesday. God himself can only know what I'd be doing. All right. So everybody say W Roy's dad or W Ray, because without them, your boy would be a menace to society. Maybe. I don't know. Right? Who knows? How about BTC 80K or more this year? I'm expecting 50K first. I'm expecting a big price dip, and that's where I'm going to be buying the majority. Very, very, I'm really just looking to scoop up as many of the low cap coins as possible. And so I'm using Bitcoin as a proxy for the overall crypto market. As Bitcoin's price continues to dip, I'm looking for buying opportunities on those sort of less established coins. So that's where my priorities are going into the end of the year. November is when I'm expecting the bull run to really kick off. So my goal between now and November is to put every loose dollar I have, every last dime I have, every loose penny I find, every fucking nickel I find in the couch cushions into these low cap cryptos so that I can have those 20, 30, 50x opportunities. Looking forward to that for sure. That's what I see. All right, I'm accepting the risk on this NASDAQ trade. I'll see you guys here. Take it easy. Happy and safe trading, everyone. I got some things I got to go handle. Peace. All right, Chart Addicts members.